So with the main LP done, I figured it'd be good to do at least one bonus video to show off some of the unlockables and things you can get after you beat the game. The first of which is this title screen here, which, while I think it was in my very first video, I probably didn't point out that this title screen changes after you do beat the game. I think otherwise it is just a moonlit background. But yeah, normally there's just some bugs in the game that kind of block you from getting 100% of everything. I do want to say that when I was initially doing test runs of the game, I did beat it 4 or 5 times over to get as much as I possibly could. But thankfully there are saves out there where people, did pro action replay codes to unlock absolutely everything. And there are just a metric shit ton of things that you can unlock. First of which is going to be in the extras menu here. It is some of our broken, overpowered lenses and functions for our camera. Some of them are pretty self-explanatory, such as Crush, that just does a massive amount of damage. It's just another power lens. Explode, I think, will cause like an AoE pushback effect, so I guess if you're being surrounded by ghosts, that might be useful. And then Sense is something that allows you to find, 8 or 9 super special, really, really hidden ghosts in subsequent playthroughs, but I'm not going to replay the game to get, 8 or 9 pictures. So if you want to see them, there's probably pictures of them online somewhere, so. The next thing that we're going to take a quick look at are going to be the costumes. In pretty much normal Fatal Frame fashion, each character does have a nice little selection of outfits. You have your very basic yukatas and kimonos. You have school uniforms for Ruka and Misaki. Then you have, casual wear? Question mark? But yeah, I think each character has about two yukatas, and then there's the really questionable stuff. You might be wondering why Zero Suit Samus, and that's because Tecmo had made, I think, one of the Metroids. It was the one that everybody hated. I can't remember what it was, but it was the one that came out for the Wii, and everybody hated it. And Shoshiro has some pretty normal outfits. I think one of them gives him a slightly thicker 5 o'clock shadow. Now, Misaki, I find, has one of the more interesting additional outfits. She has the usual kimonos and yukatas, and her casual prostitute wear. But it's her final outfit that is most wonderful to me. Because since it's a Nintendo game, they do dress her up as one of the Marios. And we will be getting a closer look at that outfit. Also, even though you only play as Madoka for, the starting chapter, she does have one additional kind of gothic Lolita torn outfit. And there are plenty of head accessories. If you watched the end of the previous video, you'll see that they get unlocked pretty quickly, but you'll also notice that there's a point meter off to the side, and that's because all the lenses, all the outfits, everything like that do require you to expend points. And I mean like in the millions of points, so you have to do quite a bit of grinding. But in the gallery here, it may not seem that amazing that you can look at each of the ghost images. But the nice thing about it is that these images are actually pretty high definition if you do zoom in on them. It's a nice level of detail. And you can take a much closer look at all the different enemies you fought throughout the game. I honestly didn't even realize that weird-looking gentleman was the director who is throwing little projectiles at us. And you have the different increments of Sakuya. You have Ruka's father. And just a whole lot of enemies that we fought. each one of the handmaidens. And I like that each one of them does have a nice little description, such as Ayako in her little brutal games she'd like to play with people. But it's also a good reminder of just the sheer amount of enemies that they actually had present in the game, each with their own little, personalities and backstories. I mean, technically these were features that were in other Fatal Frames, but I actually kind of like the high definition pictures they allow you here. But along with that, we also have a model viewer. And for our model viewer, we are going to be taking a bit of a closer look at Misaki's Luigi costume. Because, Tecmo, kind of a skeezy company, in my opinion, and there were a couple of things I didn't really agree with that they decided to add to their updates to Fatal Frame. But one of the things that was just, I wanted to say, a side effect of their boob jiggle physics that they decided to put in, was that for Luigi here, or the outfit for Luigi, is they decided to give boob physics to the hat. So, if you decide to replay the game as Misaki in the Luigi outfit, yeah, you'll be entertained constantly by her constantly jiggling hat every time she looks at you. But yeah, the model viewer here doesn't have that much to it. You can increase the male gaze, or you can have her look at you disapprovingly. It's, I don't know. I'm sure it's for some fetishes out there. And likewise, I think there was something similar in the HD Fatal Frame 2, along with a haunted house mode, which was just you leading the young twins around while they get molested by ghosts, and you had to waggle a Wiimote that really looks like a dick. So, it's pretty weird and awful. So, we're gonna leave this alone, because I feel uncomfortable looking at it. Now, as with other Fatal Frames, there is a little additional mission mode where you can fight previous enemies and very set challenges. And I hate to say it, but I'm not terribly inclined to do more combat in this game, considering I probably already did like 60 hours of it. And I especially don't feel inclined to do it under, handicap conditions. I mean, some of these sound kind of interesting, like a banquet and you're the main course. But since we already have unlocked what we need to from doing them, I mean, if people actually want to see it, I guess I could. But it would probably be another 30-minute long video, and meh. But, I mean, at least they didn't skimp on the content for the game, right? But yeah, I think from at least doing each of these, you might get a camera function or one of the power lenses, and by getting all S's, you can also get another power lens, but yeah, most of them just kind of make the game way too easy, and they kind of take the fun out of it, especially if you're already playing the game for like a 4th time through to get everything. But the final thing we want to take a quick look at is back down in the gallery. As you might notice, there is a movie theater. There's not that much in it, but there is a promotional movie, and also the secondary ending. And, well, that will be what we will have for the remainder of the video. So, sit back and enjoy.
誰も覚えていないことは存在しないことになるのだろうか。私には小さい頃の記憶がない。かすかに思い出せるのは一つの旋律。あれが老月と